Welcome back to another press conf. That's the great title that I came up with. I don't know who left me in charge with that, but we're here to promo press conf. Pressconf.events kicks off April 8th through the 11th. It's your favorite conference for the business of WordPress. Everyone who is doing business in and around WordPress will be in Tempe, Arizona, April 8th, the 11th. If you're not there yet, if you haven't secured your ticket, go to the website, pressconf.events. You're going to meet folks like Robert, who we have today. Robert Jacobi, welcome to PressConf.
Hey, Matt, great to be here. So excited.
You do a lot of stuff in the WordPress space. You've been here for a while. You podcasts, webinars, live streams, work for multiple companies. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Seasoned, is that what the term is? Like a cast iron pan?
Listen, one of the folks I spoke to, he's going to have a fantastic press conf talk, by the way. He's a great kid. But he said something like, and then there's all those WordPress people with gray hair. And I said, well, wait a minute now. wait a minute. What are we trying to say here?
Seasoned, sorry, experienced.
Yes.
Put through fire. Totally made me lose my track of thought. Okay, who am I? I'm Robert Jacobi, Chief Experience Officer, CXO at Blackwall. We focus on intent-driven visitors to websites. So a lot of that is around security, performance, splitting bots away from humans unless you want the good bots in. So we focus on the edge, and most of our end users are WordPress folks. So outside of that, I've been in WordPress for a decade-ish. So that actually puts me on the young end of the spectrum, I'm sure, for some of these speakers at PressConf, but in open source for 25 years.
That's fantastic. Obviously, we're going to be talking about AI, but I think at PressConf, there'll be a lot of like AI discussions. I think this whole concept of bots in and out is something that, I see people talking about and trying to like understand it. This is a pretty big, I'll call it problem. You might call it opportunity. What is it with bots, and what's the good and bad of that for folks who haven't even got their head around AI yet? What are bots doing to sites, specifically WordPress, or some of the stuff that you're seeing at your business?
It's a new set of tools, a new hammer, a new screwdriver, all those bits and pieces. I'm a techie at heart, so a lot of the engineering aspects of it are fascinating. What it's doing on the business side is just accelerating everything. So accelerating development, accelerating engineering, sketching out those alphas, MVCs, betas, whatever you want to call them, getting that work done quicker, not necessarily better. And I think there's a lot of angst and stress around, oh my goodness, is my job gone? Well, as of today, that stuff does not solve that top 5% of, is this production ready? And you need real people who have experience, who have done this work and understand the pros and cons of whatever AI spits out at you. So that's sort of on that engineering tech side of the universe. Then in the marketing space, okay, now everyone has the same content because it's easy to just type in, describe my company to XYZ, ideal customer, and it's going to spit out the same thing for everyone with, maybe M dashes or hyphens, depending on how you tell it to spit it out. But again, that requires someone to be useful and be thinking and cognizant and aware of the intent of what you're doing, who you want to actually engage with, have those conversations with. Those things haven't changed in 25, 30, 1,000 years. We've always looked for customers, we've always looked for work, and those things require humans to talk to humans at some point. We just have another tool in the toolbox. It allows us to do a lot of cool stuff very quickly, and in fact, I think opens up the entrepreneurial market to a lot more folk who may be very focused on something in their lives, that are experts in something, but they're not experts in, WordPress or web stuff or, setting up any of this stuff. So that kind of, I think, expands a lot of opportunities for folks. And WordPress is driving with that, driving everything from theme builders, template tools, having I'm still going to call them bots, and everyone wants to be like agentic, this, whatever. It's a bot.
That
It's
was going to
doing
be my
stuff.
next question is how you distinguish like the agents, the bots. Is this just like what bubble are we in at the time? Like where do we land on this? But
It's
thank
like
you for clarity.
you can literally find out how old someone is by what they call it. I mean, we've had SaaS, but then we had things that we called it beforehand, and I don't remember what those are. But a lot of these things have been around forever. I mean, I can go back in the day when we had things like daemon dialers on modems. Those were agents doing stuff, automating things for you. So, the LLMs, the Lovables, the Open AIs of the world. It's another set of tools to kind of keep us intellectually curious and figure out new ways to do better things faster.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I'm old. Go ahead.
sorry, Matt. The corollary is it also makes the bad guys more efficient and faster and better too. So let's
Yeah.
let's make that very clear. That's the interesting part.
Yeah. I mean, I'm old enough to remember the, as our fellow press conf speaker reminded me of. I'm old enough to remember like being in an AOL chat room when like a marijuana leaf was drawn through the chat room from some app that somebody had, and and then it would do all these other bot things like respond to people. So yeah, I mean, we're all the same stuff now. It's just a lot more powerful. On that note. And like you said, the bad actors, the good actors, and there's some opportunity. I want to talk about opportunity after this, but I've seen folks, big businesses like Cloudflare, build a business around blocking what they said were the bad guys, only to then release their own bot product 3 months, not even, I don't know, like 3 months later. I've seen YouTube say like, we're going to defend against all this AI slop on YouTube, but then in the creator app give you all this AI stuff to make the AI slop. Like, I don't know who's winning and who's losing here, but let's just, on the Cloudflare front specifically, or in your front specifically, where do you see, or what do we have to do to protect WordPress, or maybe just one or two things that you do to protect against the bad guys, if you will?
I'll start with just a little further back on the premise of tools like WordPress. It's that you're able to own your content, deploy wherever you want to. So now the conversation is own your traffic, understand your traffic, and manage that on your own. Don't just toss over the fence and hope some third party giant cloud. I'm not going to pick on companies, but we know who they are, and hope they do something right for you when 3 months later they're going to do something exactly the opposite. Yeah, right now you can go to the Cloudflare bot API and start spinning up your own bots and work within their network. So it's who's the actual customer for that at the end of the day. If you care about your content, if you care about your visitors and what their intent is, on your site, then you need to own the whole stack. It sounds more complicated than it is. Plenty of hosters allow you to do 99% of that work, and some of them are wonderful sponsors of PressConf as well. But at the end of the day, it's still that sort of fight to educate folks about the value of owning their intellectual property, owning their traffic, owning their infrastructure. And we don't need to own it at the bits and bytes and video card level anymore, but we need to be able to control it and manage it and have authority over what we're doing, how that site's being accessed, what those visitors are like. And sort of deferring might be penny wise, but it's definitely pound foolish.
Yeah. Let's just talk about opportunity really quick. That's a big thing now with agency owners, freelancers. I mean, there's tons of people who make money in WordPress. Hopefully they'll be at PressConf. There's tons of people who make money in WordPress, whether you're agency freelancer, plugin maker, SaaS developer, hosting company, any other kind of service-based consulting business. But for the freelancer and agency, where do you see opportunity for them? Because I feel like they're, again, from the Twitter social media bubble that I'm in, lots of people there are going, oh my God, will people hire us to make these websites anymore? Will they consult with us to help them shape and create content as content marketers? Are they going to need us anymore? Where do you see the opportunity lie, at least for a year to 2 years from now? I won't have you project 10 years, but like a year to 2 years from now, like where do you see opportunities for those boots on the ground WordPress implementers?
I still believe content is king. I've never been a big SEM person. I ran an agency for almost 20 years. That was never our focus. It was always about make sure there's good content. Good content will always win, and it's original. And what's nice about the LLM tools is they're able to delineate between garbage content and good content. And if you want them to scrape your good content, then you can let them scrape your good content. If you don't want them to, you should be able to not to. So, those kinds of things that communicate more complex messages to your end users, I think still need to be drafted, loved, grown, care, water, fed for other humans, by humans. If you're going to spin up a shingle that just says we're open from 9 till 5, Monday through Friday, yeah, that job is gone. I mean, it's been gone for a while, but now it's really gone because my neighbor can put one of those together without even having to go to a completely third party SaaS. So the easy pickings are what LLM is taking away, and focus on your expertise, focus on your business knowledge, focus on the niches you've been working on for the last few years or decades. For some of us, gray hairs, but that's where the value is. It's always about selling your value. I think one of the big opportunities is if you're using the right tools on your end, you're not changing your maintenance pricing. You just now have more time. So that kind of care and feeding of your customers should be automated, should be pushed out to the tools that do it simply, quickly, automatically for you. So learn how to do that, because that will give you a lot more time to provide the really high-end value work that you're doing. So instead of worrying about, that, $20 ticket that comes in, worry about the $50,000 project that really brings value, certainly to yourself as a company or a freelancer, but also to the rest of the internet with meaningful information.
Yeah. We are again April 8th through the 11th at pressconf.events. Generally, folks come to the event because they like the one track. It's one room. People can go and listen to a talk, and it's not recorded, which means that the talk is a lot more out there and a lot more what's the word I'm looking for? Transparent for the person on stage. So a lot of people say a lot of great things, and you don't have to worry about people posting it on the internet. You can bare your soul, if you will. But you're going to be part of something that's slightly different for PressConf. It's going to be like these little quick lightning talks that you'll be. Well, I guess the question is, are you going to be overseeing it, or are you going to be giving the 15-minute talk in these lightning sessions?
So there's a 1 hour lightning track, and there's only one track, and everyone has to be there. And it is an amazing conference because goodness knows I barely attend sessions at most conferences, but this is the one where it's 98% attendance because it's the one track. Everyone's in there except for the folks that have to take an emergency phone call or go to the washroom. So this track, this session will be a 1 hour bit with three folks. It's titled Rage, Rant, and Relax. And the three of us will each take a turn at something that kind of drives us crazy in the industry that we really want to rage about. And then we'll get a little more detailed and rant about it with more clarity. And then we'll tell you why it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm just trying to leave it as broad as that.
Yes. We don't want to give it away, but what we might be saying is you have 30 seconds of relaxation out of that 15 minutes. You get 30. I'll give you 30 seconds to relax.
It's like the whole AI thing. The sky is not falling. It's things just change, and I feel that's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, and this is again why to be in the room at PressConf is going to be great, because that's going to be on everyone's mind. How are we adapting? How are we shifting our businesses? Because it is true. I mean, you were saying before, like, hey, these tools have been here forever, but maybe AI in its I guess hyper growth is going to be taking away that real low end of the business, whatever that low end of the business is, that it ends up eating. I would even argue, like, I mean, WordPress did that. Like when WordPress started to get better, and especially in the age of marketplaces, when marketplaces first hit the scene, and people are like, "Oh my god, I can go buy a $70 real estate website, and I don't have to hire somebody for $5,000 to build this or $10,000, whatever it was at the time." We saw those impacts on the business. I mean, better or worse. And I think it helped actually elevate people who were doing the good stuff to be like, oh, sure, go ahead. Have fun with that $70 real estate theme. But when it breaks and it doesn't work anymore, and the person who put it together for you is no longer, went off to college, like now you need the professional. And the professional comes in and it's going to be a lot more money, but done the right way.
When I ran an agency, I was happy to let those folks go who wanted to pay a tenth of what we were telling them they had to pay, because they always came back 18 months later like, yeah, these are the problems we're experiencing. I'm like, yeah, we told you that's good work isn't free. I mean, no work should be free, but good work is definitely not free.
Yeah, for sure. Robert Jacobi, where do you want folks to go to say thanks for hanging out today?
Oh, goodness. Blackwall.com. You can find us on all the socials. Just start typing in Blackwall and it'll finish for what the ending might be. I'm also available on the Twitters. I'm sorry, X at Robert Jacobi.
Fantastic stuff. Pressconf.events, April 8th through the 11th. Grab your tickets. We'll see you in sunny Arizona.
Thank you.